The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to TechGig webinar series, our endeavor to empower techies. We believe that sharing of knowledge is the key to enhance our skills and grow us as professionals. With this principle in mind, we have initiated a series of webinars conducted by industry experts to give you all a crisp insight of various domains. The topic of today's session is Building Products of the Future Using the Customer Lifecycle Model. And our guest speaker today is Sandeep Dasgupta. He's the director with MICES. Sandeep Dasgupta is a passionate technologist with over 22 years in the industry. He has been part of various interesting experiences in engineering and technology, ranging from building India's first online stock exchange, designing and developing platform-independent products in the early 90s, architecting and developing zero-latency enterprise products at the HP Advanced Technology Labs, being lead architect for one of the world's top-selling retail banking products, heading engineering for industry-leading online real-time trading products, to designing best-of-breed frameworks for agile engineering. Sandeep currently heads development for the Fusion Banking product line at MICES, a leading provider of financial software products. So, without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Aradhana. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a privilege to be able to speak to you all and share my ideas and thoughts about this topic. Even though I'm kind of currently very closely associated with the banking industry, and I have been mainly part of financial products in my experience so far, I'll kind of try to keep this as generic as possible and maybe use banking as an occasional example, but whatever I kind of talk about would be applicable to almost any area that is that needs product development today. So without further ado, let me go to the areas I want to touch upon. That's the next slide. Okay, we will try to cover these areas as far as possible today. We will first understand what we mean by the customer lifecycle model and kind of what are the various views of different researchers and other organizations who have looked at this model or have tried to use this model. And then we'll look at how that applies to product strategy today and what demands it places on the technology side of the product strategy. The key here is that for building products, you have to have a long-term view. And in that long-term view, not only should the business aspect be covered, which is where the customer lifecycle model comes in, but the practical possibilities of developing such products also need to be looked at, right? And that is where the technology angle comes in, or the platform angle comes in. And unless you have sort of a strategy which for the platform and technology which matches your business strategy, a lot of long-term product development roadmaps go off track because you suddenly realize that what you're trying to build is not supported by the technology or the platform you're using. So that is what I'm going to concentrate on. How do you make the two match? And we will kind of explore that a little more in the sense that why does this place a different kind of demand on the technology strategy or the architecture roadmap that products need to have? And what are some of the best practices in designing for these architectures? I have not put too many slides on these areas because it's a very broad topic and it's very, very specific to the area that we are talking about, to different products, to different technologies and architectures. So I've kept it very generic. I'll talk about the concepts behind it, and if needed, if there are questions around it, we can go deeper into the technical details. But I will try to keep everything at a high level and talk about the concepts so that it's equally and generically applicable to whatever you might be interested in or you might be doing today. And at the end, I'll talk about some sort of experiences and challenges that I have faced. Again, very generic. It may depend on what you are going through or what any organization is trying to build, but some of these should sound familiar to most of you. Okay, so with that, let's move to the trying to understand the customer lifecycle model as we kind of define it. Right? So I've kind of tried to begin with a very common example. Right? I mean, what used to be the traditional customer engagement model for eating out, for example, right? If you go back 10 years, the model used to be what we are seeing today. It used to be a, actually, I'll just wait for the screen to refresh, I think. I don't see it on the, okay, I don't know whether the slides are getting refreshed, so let me check that first. Okay, I think it's back